peace out, but looks like he was able to save himself long enough to get the last kill.
It's really awful when you have almost a full team wipe and just your two carry farmers are the only two left alive.
Yeah, they kind of don't know what to do. They just sort of, just take these guys out, maybe run around a little bit.
I remember as soon as that team fight happened, I was thinking, wait, where were Anti-Mage and Inspector when that team fight started? They're like halfway across the map.
And it looks like Arcot's going to get harassed, I guess, only. So yeah.
Silencer all alone at bottom.
So one thing about Venomancer is you really want to keep on top of placing your plague wards in there for vision, since they only have the Dire doesn't have any wards up. That would really help them out.
Under attack.
The thing with Venomancer is he's a pretty good hero in early and mid game for pushing, but towards the end you can have carriers who just other like regular heroes push towers. So when late game comes around, he's really good for his plague wards for sight and his ultimate just for poisoning everything.
Indeed, like their total AoE team fight is just so much superior to ours. We really do need a pipe, not just for the Lich ult, but to just reduce all the incoming magic damage they'd be throwing at us.
And one thing, a couple minutes, or maybe about a minute ago, we had Silencer on the bottom lane trying to push this bottom tower, and the problem with that is that we do have a bounty hunter, and in his own jungle, if you get caught by him 1v1, you're probably going down if you're a squishy hero like Silencer.
Alright, something we just missed at mid. What is it? Shaman just got a Serpent Ward trap off on Tide and they managed to get out somehow. And Animage came in and tried to take out Tidehunter at the end. And then Lich came in right after him and sent his ult after Animage. And something I found interesting was the ult hit Animage once, and then he blinked forward, and then it bounced onto him when he blinked forward.
I guess that's an unfortunate happenstance.
I remember that in game, and that just I kind of had a very sad face at that moment.
Something else I got to point out right here: 55 health on the middle tower. You really want to deny that when it gets that low. Prevent gold from transferring to the other team.
You can deny towers whenever they're under 10% of their total health.
So let's see, 13. That's 130 health.
Yes.
Regeneration.
So just for information's sake, we have 1300 health on tier 1 tower, 1600 health on tier 2 tower, and 1600 health again tier 3 tower, and everything in the base at that same level.
Dire's middle tower.
Also, something important to note is all towers, save for tier 1 towers, have backdoor protection. So you can't actually out DPS a tower. You can't DPS a tower down unless you have a creep wave there to
Hang
get
on a
rid of
sec,
that
we have Captain Walmart
protection.
caught by Tidehunter and Bounty Hunter. Went down real quick right there. He really didn't have too much of a chance. And Arcos getting caught right now. We have, just burst damage down there.
About the backdoor protection, you can overcome backdoor protection if you have enough damage.
I mean, if you're playing Clinks, yeah.
And it looks like they're going to push this tier 2 tower mid.
Dire's middle tower.
There is no one around to defend it, and they would need to teleport in sometime around now in order to get that, save that tower.
Dire's middle tower.
Doesn't look like any of them have teleport scrolls other than Venomancer. And even if you did have a teleport scroll, I would not advise teleporting directly to the tower when there's 4 of them there attacking.
Looks like the Snuggles and Dropkick looking for something, but they weren't able to catch anyone off guard. 2-on-4 wouldn't have worked for them either. So at this point, what would you think would be a winning strategy for this Dire side?
At this point, our only hope would be to somehow win a team fight and then get a good push up mid. Because we have a good tower killing team, but our team fight and as AM, my farm was terrible, and our late game was just not going to happen, so we needed to end this early.
I might be way off base here, but I was thinking more like, since you have like 2 naturally already turtly heroes with Venomancer and Sand Shaman, or Shadow Shaman, whatever, I would have turtled back and let AM farm and hope he could hard carry your team.
So here we have an attempt on the tower here. You guys do take out a lot of health very quickly on that tower. Radiant gonna teleport in. Initiation on Dropkick, who's standing out of position. The ulti doesn't really work with the Lich.
And as you can see, that's the problem with going Vlad.
That's some caught off
your Night Stalker.
Yeah. That's some caught off guard there.
Gonna die.
Positioning. That looks to be the name of the game. Jay Brown coming out with a nice ultimate.
And see, that was the team fight we needed, but we stayed in it way too long.
Yeah, that should have been exited, and you lose Silencer down to right clicks as well as Arcos. So we have a 4 wipe for 4v2 trade.
And like the last team fight, the only person alive on Dire side is Anti-Mage, and he's off farming.
So what do you think? Is Anti-Mage mid-game, should he be with the team battles, or should he be farming on his own?
Personally, I think at this point, you guys should just cut your losses, turtled, and tried to let Anti-Mage farm. Maybe protect him from ganks.
But I'm just talking in general, not specifically to this match.
Oh, should he farm just all the time and not participate at all?
Well, I mean mid-game, should he be trying to get farm from killing, experience from killing other players, ganking?
I think it really depends on your team. If you have a really strong like team fight and gank team, he should be roaming with the team and trying to get experience from kills like that. But with Dire's team as it is, really the only team fight you guys have is Silencer and Shadow Shaman. So it's not really a whole lot of damage, it's just a bunch of CC.
And that is exactly what we were talking about, was just me farming. In fact, at this point, we pretty much knew the game was probably done, and the entire conversation on Mumble was people making fun of my farm.
It's pretty hard when your team goes in on you like that.
I believe I told them, just make the game last another hour, and I'll hard carry this for us.
Ooh, Spectre's after Anti-Mage at the top.
Yeah, that was a nice haunt, catching him off guard there.
Yeah,
Blinking
at first
away,
I thought I was gonna man fight it, but then I realized he was gonna wreck
You're not
me.
gonna DPS Spectre. He's got a defusal blade.
So I haven't played Spectre. How does his haunt work? Does he haunt everyone and then has the option to select one to teleport to, or what is it?
That is correct. And the main reason that I could not go on him is because he has a ability called Desolate, where he does bonus damage when he's attacking somebody who has no allies around them.
I think we just missed a very big team fight at bottom lane.
Oh, I am sorry about that one.
We had a really great ultimate from Lich. Again.
Is it a Tidehunter Lich combo?
Yep.
Tidehunter positioning.
Anti-Mage comes in, try and pick up the pieces, goes after Tidehunter. Tries to man fight him.
Yes,
But
at this
Lich
point I
is
told my
tied in a
team,
way to
don't
win.
worry, I'll clean this up. And then Lich mech'd, and I was like, never mind.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, KJ taking down tower here up top.
Dire's top tower is up. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Dropkick teleporting in a little bit late. Still trying to get some pick up on the creeps down here.
Ooh, Lena just purchased a Desolator.
Oh,
That
yes.
carry Lena.
I
I'm
remember
looking forward to
Desolator
this.
Lena.
I love seeing people buy Desolator just because I like seeing people try to carry with whatever hero they bought it off. And I think what we deduced at broadcast when we saw her buying Desolator, which really isn't a very good Lena item now, but I think what we deduced is that the player who was playing Lena at the time was looking at a guide that was from a later or earlier version of Dota when her skills were different and Desolator was a viable option for her. But now in Dota 2 in this version it's not really a great idea.
So
when your team is ahead like this, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's true.
So Desolator being an item that gives plus 60 damage, gives you an armor reduction of 6, and passive corruption, which your attacks reduce the target's armor.
That armor reduction, that's the 6 is the armor reduction you do with attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Every
Okay.
auto attack reduces your target's armor by 6.
And so, Dire is going to try to push bot here while I farm up top.
Desolator is like the expensive weapon version of Medallion of Courage.
And who has a Medallion of Courage?
I don't think I see anyone here with a Medallion of Courage right now, but what it does, it gives you 50% mana regeneration and 6 armor, and it's got an active effect with like a range of 600, I think it is, that reduces your target's armor by 6 and your own armor by 6.
I don't think they're going to be, I wonder if they're going to be successful in this push. There's only one person there to defend it. The wards are doing a ton of damage, melting that tower right down. J Brown coming in with a nice ult, but needs
Tide
it.
gets
And
his
here
ultimate
comes the Lich again.
Lich gets his ultimate off, and that's game. That's team fight right there.
And I still remember the vent conversation as I was taking the tower after my whole team wiped. And I will say this, for as terrible as we did have a good time in Mumble.
Honestly, that's what's important about playing games. If you have a good time, it doesn't matter if you lose.
Because we were joking that we completely wiped, lost everybody but me because I was in the 10 fight, but we got 2 towers.
So anyone listening that's unsure of whether or not they want to come into these games, you really should, because, you know, it doesn't matter. You win, you lose, no one really gets mad at each other. We just here to have a good time, so that's really what we want to put forward in this community.
Just don't play with feeder McFeeds a lot, because